everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Joey Evans.
That's all, folks.
Pretty good. That was really good.
I'm excited. I'm psyched. You don't want to know why?
Oh, you said psych.
That coffee.
That's the good stuff.
I was more excited. I wore the donut tie, and I'm still not getting donuts. This tie does not work.
It doesn't.
So I wore it. I have two donut ties because reasons.
Donuts. Yeah.
And
They were BOGO.
at Board Game Geek, I walked I walked around. People were like, "Oh, I love the tie, love the tie." Went up to a table with people with donuts. They had donuts. I smiled.
Were you fishing?
They ignored me. I was 100% fishing,
Yeah.
and no donuts didn't work.
Okay.
But then the next day, I wasn't wearing a donut tie, and someone else gave me a donut, so that was okay.
That's good. Or donut hole or
the
donut.
strategy is to not wear a donut.
It's confusing.
It's true. It's subliminal. They're like, I think this guy wants a donut.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm like really thinking about donuts. So let's move on. We want to do some shout outs to some of our Kickstarter backers.
Ooh.
Okay, this is an interesting slate. Here we go. We have Jay Satterwhite,
That's a good
How
one.
you doing?
Eric Lagniabach, and his non-tossable dog, Gimli.
Non-tossable.
I get it. Gimli.
Oh,
Toss
okay.
me.
All right.
Toss me like you toss French dwarves.
Jeremiah Custer, Ashley and Danny Weitzman, Post-Apocalyptic Jake and the Zek clan.
Yeah!
Sounds like they're coming for me.
That's really, wow.
Hi, everybody. I'm post-apocalyptic Jake. I live in that burnt-out hole.
Thanks to Graham, Julie, Haley, and Isaiah from Mississauga, Canada.
It's
And-
not a real place. This
Everybody
Canada
gets
is
that.
And Edwin and
man
Balder
Saab
from
was wife.
Norway. Is that real?
Norway's real.
No, Norway's not a real place either.
Norway is legit.
Alrighty. So, anyhow, welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. Lots of different things going on. If
Lots.
you're watching this, we want to remind you earlier this week we started Dice Tower District, and where you can buy and sell board games. And people have been buying and selling board games quite a bit on there. Easy, fast way. Check it out.
Yeah.
Dice Tower District. Okay, so not much else to talk about later today. We have the top 100, 20 to 11.
to 11.
Top 20?
We might even throw number 10 in there, too.
I don't think you're
You will
supposed
not.
to.
We
No,
won't
no,
do
no,
that.
no.
That's next week.
If it was up to me, we'd put it in there.
Next week is the
Yeah.
Summer Spectacular. A week before summer starts. But in Florida, summer's been going on for a long time.
Oh, it's been going on
yeah.
for at least 6, 7
Here's how
years.
spring and summer work in Florida. Spring is till about 7 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Then summer goes from 7 a.m. till midnight.
Yes.
Then we have spring from 12 to 6.
And
You just sleep through it.
If you get lucky, sometimes we have winter from 2 to 3 a.m. But you sleep through winter. And you're like, sometimes you wake up and you're like, winter is coming. And you're like, oh no, it's 4 in the morning. I missed it.
Hey, you know a rocket launch yesterday? Anyhow,
Did it?
last night we did s'mores outside our house, and I was like, this is a bad time of year to be doing this. It was really
S'mores
hot.
last night?
Because you got
Yeah.
rocket fuel on them? Why?
That's not right.
Because I have a place to... It was hot. It was fire.
Right, so it's a bad time to do it during the year or during the day?
Oh, during the year, I think.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
too
hot.
warm.
There's never a bad time for s'mores, though.
That is true.
You know, they're still good.
Do you know they make square marshmallows for s'mores?
Why?
No, that's a good. Aren't all
Really?
marshmallows
They
square?
do.
That's dumb. I'm sorry. That ruins kind of the fun. I like misshaping the marshmallow. I like how
Having them
you
falling
use
off and the crusty outside staying on there. And
You know
the
what I
mushy,
mean? There's something about like making the marshmallow bend to your will. If it already comes square, it's like, no, this marshmallow is used to the
It's
punishment.
more of a dominance thing for you, isn't it? It's like, I will teach
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
marshmallow.
It's not the chocolate, okay?
Also, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is good on a s'more.
That would be good on a
Never
s'more.
really.
Yes.
It's still same graham cracker,
Everything else is the same.
mellow,
Yes.
but instead of the Hershey's, Reese's Pieces, but
No,
coalesced.
Reese's peanut
Not
butter
Reese's
cups.
Pieces. That would
You
be
know
a
what I
very...
mean?
Those
The
don't
whole
melt.
cup.
The whole cup. Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
You're
Oh,
really
hey,
good.
folks, we're live, guys. We're
Yeah,
live.
okay, wow.
Hi, everybody.
I'm hungry.
Let's get to the news. Not put s'mores on the pizza. I'm sorry.
You'd try s'mores on a pizza, wouldn't you?
All right. This is pretty big news, our first piece of news, and that is
Excited.
Steamforged has bought War Machine. They've acquired War Machine, which has all these different properties you see here, Iron Hammer. War Machine was what was it? Was it Privateer Press who used to have it? I forget the
Thought
company.
so.
Yeah.
I thought so.
If you remember, we used to go to Gen Con every year, and we
Taboo.
would eat at
The iron something.
the Rock or
The
whatever it was
Rock,
called.
the
And we would eat there, and every time we'd go there,
Burger,
it's gone now, this place. They had burgers and stuff, but the War Machine people would pay, and the whole restaurant and menu would change. And so you'd be like, I like the
That's
Judicator
cool.
Devastator. Well, it's kind of cool, except I'm like, what is the Judicator Devastator?
and then the people who work the Ram. Thank you, the Ram.
The Ram, thanks.
And then they would have to be like the people who work there were like the adjudicator. Oh, that's normally the
It's a triple cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's like they
Really?
have to like remember what it was in the real menu. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool vibe. It definitely was the way to kick off Gen Con for a long time for us.
Well, also,
It
it was
put me in the mood. Gen Con.
the only day we could get in there was the day before Gen Con. you know.
Slammed otherwise.
After
Oh
that,
yeah, the
they
Ram
would
was
play
bad.
movies in there. I once went in there during Gen Con to have lunch with a meeting,
I call
and they
them
were
just
playing
movies, by
Buck
the way.
Rogers.
Really?
So yeah, bad movies.
That's cool.
That's cool.
not
Yeah.
Buck Rogers. Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. It's the same difference, pretty much.
No, but Flash Gordon comes with a great soundtrack.
It does.
Anyhow,
Flash
Steamforge
Gordon.
is known for their miniatures. They have a lot of their board games are, I mean, not a lot, almost all their board games are very miniature heavy.
Yep.
This makes them a pretty powerhouse. I mean, not that I thought they were small already.
Sure.
So this is pretty impressive. So it
Still
says,
a lot of brands, a lot of intellectual properties that they have gained by doing this. To
well, the
be
biggest
fair,
is War Machine by far.
War Machine by far, and many of these are pretty dormant. Like Bodger's Games has 2 games they ever put out,
Misread that.
and they were nothing.
You thought it was boogers.
I
didn't you?
did. I was like,
Yeah, it's Bodger's. It's his
Okay.
little goblins who fix things. You know, it's again pretty dormant. Grind, I think, is dormant. High Command had those deck building games. They went nowhere. So hopefully they start bringing some of this stuff back out into the light. You know.
Well, the CEO of Steamforge, Rich Loxham, said that it makes sense for them, both him and their CCO. What's a CCO? Chief something officer? Chief
he sends emails to more than one people. more
Chief
than at
Executive
once.
Officer.
That's what it is.
Anyway, someone will tell me in
Somebody will
chat.
tell you, and
The
you should not have
BCCO.
asked that publicly. You're
Anyhow.
making you and me look bad right now, and I don't appreciate that.
I'm on a different couch.
Well, I know the CFO, and anyway. So anyhow, it says these 2 main guys are already War Machine players and like the game. So that's good for
Right.
Chief Operating
Operating
Officer.
Officer.
No, I said CCO.
Chief Officer.
Wait, it should be COO, I think.
Oh, maybe they just spelled it incorrectly. Yeah, you're right. Okay. The 3 letters. Anyhow, we're getting off track. So everyone seems pretty happy. Privateer Press is happy. Although I'm assuming that Privateer Press doesn't exist. What do they have left? Anyway, this is going to be interesting. We'll see where it goes in the future.
That
Chief
sounds right.
Communications.
Chief Communications Officer or Chief Commercial Officer? We have 2 answers now. I don't know which one's true. Chief
communications-
Content? Okay.
Chief Cuddling Officer. Aw.
I like that.
Let's move on. Indies Games Night Market.
Oh, I like that.
That
That's-
extra S is bothering. Indie Games Night Market. Okay. Anyhow, this is
Indie Games
debuting
Night
at
Market.
PAX. And so one of the thing people like at Tokyo Games Market, there's a bunch of stuff there. And so this will be held at PAX U this year after the vendor hall has closed. And there's going to be space for 10 to 20 designers with small tables selling games that otherwise have no channel for purchase. There's featured games that have not been signed by publishers, have no intention to go on Kickstarter, and may otherwise not be available.
Mike Games.
I don't
This is-
get that at all.
Yeah,
man.
so basically this is they're trying to have the feeling of going to Tokyo Game Market a little bit
Yes.
and take a little time after the hall closes at PAX and put on a very small show like that with somebody, a few copies of whatever they sort of handcrafted or made from, somebody small, and sell those few copies. Again, they're going for that feeling that you get at the Tokyo Game Market where you might have somebody who is a well-known publisher next to somebody who made 100 copies of something, 50 copies of something.
Right.
And that's all they intend to do. It's interesting. It sounds incredibly indie, but it also sounds like a neat thing to see. I kind of want to see what's
It
there.
would be weird. I would like to go to this in disguise.
Good luck.
Well, no, what I mean is, I want to be able to walk through this aisle because you're going to be like, that's kind of interesting, and then you're going to see 3 games, and you're not going to, you don't, and the person's going to be like, hey, and you're going to go.
Yeah, but you're good at that stuff. I've gone on cruise ships with you. Those markets, you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's different. I don't have a problem with those markets. I have no problem saying no to them.
Okay.
I don't like saying it to someone. Well, you want to look at my game? No.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That seems rude.
If this was a
It
Gen
does
Con,
seem rude.
I'd go do it. It seems like really fun because these are the same games that you would walk by at a big Gen Con to get to where you want to go. But this is
Right.
like, if the entire event is around those, I don't know, I think it'll be fun, be unique.
It sounds neat.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see what kinds of really outside the box things end up there.
Right.
I want to go with Mike DeLisio, mind you, and put him in front of me.
That's
like-
true. Hide behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Maximum Apocalypse, the video game, is coming to Kickstarter and Steam.
It's actually live already. I've
Oddly
seen
enough,
it on there.
there is 30 minutes setup on this video game too. I'm just kidding.
Terrible joke.
It is. Only you got it. It's a lot of setup on this
It
game.
looks all right. It looks very like what you would expect. It looks like an app.
I'm good with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think this might, yeah.
You know
would-
what? When
I
this
would play
comes out, I will be featuring it on What's Happening.
2 players. You and I both.
No, just me.
Or,
What's Happening is
Or
Tuesday.
2, huh?
What's happening is Tuesday.
Shoot.
Even if it was,
So.
it could be any day of the week. It could be at your house, and I wouldn't feature you.
Okay.
Hack.
This next piece of news really surprised me. So, Defenders of the Realm Legend Editions is coming to Backer Kit, but it's where did I don't. It's not Eagle Griffin.
Hasn't this been rolling around for a while now?
I think so. Let me find this. Defenders
Public domain,
of the
finally.
Realm.
Defenders of the Realm
Backer Kit.
is reworking of the original Richelon.
Oh, it's Greater Than Games.
Greater Than Games has
Okay.
had it for ages. They've posted a few teases over time, and I know because, again, I've been kind of interested in it. But my goodness, I thought we were waiting on delivery on this thing. It's going to crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
I guess I
if
missed
you
that.
want, you can still buy Defenders of the Realm, right? So that go find
Is
an
it
old
still
copy of
available?
it. Well, an old copy. I mean, they made a lot of them. Have you ever played Defenders of the Realm?
No.
It's like Pandemic but fantasy.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, you have
Don't
these
tell
armies.
Richard Lanius that. He was like adamant that it was not pandemic.
I know for a fact that Eagle Griffin went to Matt Leacock and said, "Do you mind if we publish this game?" And he was like, "Yes, that's fine."
Really?
They did. Because it definitely, you have these armies marching in, and you're trying to stop them, but they're also scattering around. And you don't want them to get in too many places.
It's cool. It's old school. I think it's got that old school Elmore art,
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
original. So it feels like the good old days from the '80s, fighting the dudes, the dwarf with the sword. But it's kind of pandemic.
Classic fantasy.
It
Yeah.
has that system.
This looks good, though, because I actually am not a huge fan. I've never been a big fan of Defenders of the Realm art. It's Larry Elmore, and I know Larry Elmore is a revered artist and everything. This stuff looks old to me. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
This looks fresh and new. This actually looks like that deck building game. I'm wondering if it's the same artist.
Dominion.
No, that didn't narrow down. No, the deck building adventure boss battler game, Adventure Tactics.
Oh,
It looks like
a
Adventure
lot.
Tactics. I don't know. It might just be that same style, right? But I really like that art and the pieces. If you go look at the backer kit, you can see a preview page. They look really cool. So,
I definitely am excited for this to come back.
alrighty. Men never do what?
They never do
Men
anything.
never ask for directions.
So I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's
Minifer.
This is a party game for women. So
So dumb.
anyhow, what it is it's Men Dash Nefer is the actual title of the game. Anyway, Men Nefer, which also later became known as Memphis, became the capital of ancient Egypt. Anyway, you're just doing a lot of Egyptian things like getting knowledge, navigating, trading on the Nile River, blah, 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 worker placement, etc. This is coming... Who is this coming from? Ludo Nova.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
The designer is Hermanpe Millán.
Yeah, so that looks...
He's been doing a lot of good stuff lately, so...
Mike says this is the designer Bitoku. That's interesting.
Yeah. He's been on the rise for sure, this designer.
I also thought, I used to say there was too many Egyptian games, but they've really died out recently. Yeah. And this cover gives me a different kind of feel. I like it a lot.
Very classic Egyptian.
Yeah, now it's nature. Now it's when, like, you see, if you, like, have to guess on I gave you a title for a game, you have to guess, it's like nature.
Yeah.
It's a good guess.
All right, then we have Cube Express.
That'd be a fun game, actually. I give you the title, you tell me what you think the theme is.
Ooh.
That's a good game.
That is a good game.
Okay, I'm claiming it.
Cube Express,
Done.
You're going to embark on a thrilling journey through the heart of the Industrial Revolution. And you're delivering, well, cubes.
Yes!
I like
People
that.
need cubes to
Cubes
subsist.
are the currency of progress in Cube Express, each one representing a vital piece of the economic puzzle. Make your joke.
They're just leaning into it, though. Everywhere else is like, well, this cube is ore, this cube is coal, this cube is... You know what? These are cubes. I like that.
That'd be
Like,
actually
you know
pretty
what?
funny. Like, what is it delivering? Cubes.
Cubes.
People
Yeah,
do
but would
eat
you like if it
cubes.
was called Cube Meeple Express?
I would
Probably.
hate that.
See, you would hate that.
Yes, I would. I really don't like it when they're used in, like, gamer words in the theme of a game.
The OK
like, call
cubes.
pieces in the game meeples, I think is weird. Like, no, it's supposed to be like a soldier or whatever. You call him a soldier. In my world, in this world up here, I call it a meeple. In your world and there, you call it a meeple. You're an idiot.
Okay. Anyhow.
Anyway, you're an
The
idiot.
next game is called Sparks. So this is from a company called
Yes.
Allion. This is from Christian Ostby and Kjetil Svensson. They did another game called How Dare You.
How dare you?
But this game here is a 1 to 4 player game designed by Ostby. Well, actually 4 different designers doing it. You're running a robot factory, and so you're taking dice. You're using these dice to complete robots. I like pretty much anything Ostby touches.
I'm
frankly.
telling you, is this another company he started? Because it sure feels like another company he started.
It does feel like another company.
He's got a Porta Games, Funny Fox, or whichever one that is. Maybe it's not Funny Fox, the other Fox one.
Fart Fox.
Fart Fox.
Boogers.
A lion, which means a lion. It's literally what it says. But, in French.
Sounds better in French.
It
just
does
if
a
you know.
lion
Yeah.
than a lion.
What's chasing you?
A lion.
A lion.
That's like...
This looks really cute. I like this. I like the stuff he makes.
James says this robot looks like they've had too much coffee. I agree.
Yeah.
And is the cat the scientist in the background? It is.
There's a lot going
There's
on.
a bear back there, too.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
This is like a reverse Build-A-Bear type scenario.
Oh,
No, reverse Build-A-Bear is where you're pulling stuff out.
oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, my God, Grizzly. Get it?
So stupid.
I've had coffee. I apologize.
Dicey Cards. So Dicey Cards is coming from Blue Orange. Wait, wasn't this... No, this is a game I've already played.
No, it just looks like one you played.
This is
No.
the winter variation.
I am
Google
positive.
Google it real quick.
Dicey Cards. That's Dice Cards. Oh, wait. Is it a reprint of Dice Cards?
There's no E,
Tucker
so it's not
Smedes.
dice.
Let's see who the designer
this
is
from
here.
Vogel.
Eric Vogel. Wow, it sounds like Dice Cards.
Wow, they had a game in 2023 come out called Dice Cards, and there's one called Dicey Cards. Oof.
Same company?
Oh, no.
No, this
Come
is
on.
Blue Orange Games. You are going to roll cards, and then whatever you roll, you'll flip them down. It's like a very simple roll, and then flip cards up or down. Basically, you're freezing cards. So it is a very different game.
I do like Eric Vogel's games. They tend to be very minimalistic,
Yeah.
and he's good at that. I'm into it.
All right. Tortoise Tumble from Ridley's Games is the sequel to Pass the Pigs.
Oh, okay.
My goodness. I've heard of a long time between
It is
sequels.
finally.
People have been begging for this.
This is great.
Wow,
But what
it's
is-
been a bit.
What's going to be the new, when you roll the pigs and there's different things, and the one thing that you can get is making bacon.
Right. What's the
How is that going to work for Tortoise Tumble?
I just want to see the
Don't
actual
think about it too
pieces.
much.
I want to see
I
the
know,
pieces
right?
on them.
Yeah, basically it is passing the pigs, I guess. But depends on where you land in the garden. Maybe throw them in the box.
Wow.
It says, though,
It's a bigger box.
depending on where you land, you can score bonus points and land outside the garden. However, you've been banished from Eden. It's got real dark. Forbidden from re-rolling that round and scoring nothing. Have you ever seen the giant pass the pigs that they have at some conventions?
No.
Oh, if you
With
ever do-
actual pigs.
No. They hand you 2 piglets and you just
roll.
No,
it's
but they have
fine.
these really big pigs that you throw. It's fun. I've done it several times.
That's cool.
So
What's next? Sequel to Pit. Here we go.
next, apparently there's a game we're announcing called Paleo Vet. Would you like to know more? I reviewed it last year. So this is coming from Absurdist Productions. I'm not sure why this is in the news now, but well, I know Board Game Geek, but yes, I've already reviewed it. It's fine. You roll dice to try to claim dinosaurs. Festivo is a 2 to 4 player game from Scorpion Mask.
I like that.
They said it's a take and make designed aesthetic. It's compared to Harmonies, which none of us have played.
What is a take and make aesthetic?
I don't know. I'm reading the print here.
Joey?
Okay.
I enjoy hearing that. That's fun to say, though.
You're going to take a tile from the top of these stacks and place it in a 3x3 grid on your board. You can place it on the ground level or on an existing stack, or you can take an objective card and put it next to your board. And then you're trying to complete these objectives. So it sounds like it's in the...
pattern making. Yay.
Yeah,
Plus,
maybe,
you drop
but if you
those
can go
discs
up,
on
maybe there's
there.
some differences to it.
This is upwards with patterns.
Up patterns.
Pattern up.
I like the look of it.
All right. And something everyone's been asking for, there's another standalone game of the Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizard series called Anarchy at the Arena.
There we go, for the family.
This one comes with Dead Wizard tokens, Applause tokens, Rally cards, Champion cards, and more, and can be combined with other E ESWOTBW titles.
You heard that right.
Have you ever played this game?
No, I've heard it's kind of just really wacky, just...
Very adult humor,
That's what I heard.
but like very sophomoric humor also. I've never played this. I did play the one using this theme. They made a version of the DC deck building game.
Like this?
They made it's basically a spin-off of the DC deck building
Right.
game, right? But with this theme, I thought it was better.
Really?
Because it was like, again, very lewd, very stupid. But the gameplay, I thought, was a little bit better than the DC deck building game. Gave it to a nephew of mine.
Speaking of quote-unquote adult games, I still think that's a Miss Moniker type thing.
Yeah, what should we call that?
They're called...
Yeah, you can't say adult games.
They should just be called crude games or something like that.
Crude lewd.
Crude lewd.
The crude lewd. It
Well,
sounds
speaking
like
of that,
a delicious donut, though.
we have another crude
eat it.
lewd up here. One I did not expect.
Oh.
A new After Dark game,
There we are. Crude
Apple.
game.
Tapple After Dark.
Can't you do... I guess, yeah.
It's
No,
so
'cause they give you a
dumb, though. So
category.
Tapple is one of those party games that I think this one
Like
has
it.
a pretty high percentage of people going, that looks stupid, then you play it and they go, this is actually pretty
That's
good.
exactly
Yeah,
it.
sure, it's good.
Yes.
Tapple's fun.
I really like Tapple. I never thought, hey, I need one that has turn-ons, and I hand it to you, and I would just, if you said turn-ons and hand it to me, I'd be like, I lose.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not hitting any of the buttons.
This could be a card expansion for Tapple.
That's true, actually. They could have just done the cards,
Yeah.
but they want to sell the device again, I'm
I
sure.
would say maybe I'm
Maybe get these just the cards?
no, I want to do the flip. I want to buy this, throw the cards away.
Because that looks a lot nicer.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah, the other one
I
looks
agree,
so
it looks
chintzy.
awesome. That
Yeah.
dark, usually that's the thing with these After Dark editions, whatever apparatus they include, or whatever, like if it's a component in there, they kind of look cool.
Yeah.
They look very like post-apocalyptic Mike would be into them, you know what I mean?
Right.
I agree. Tom, why don't you get this? You keep the device, I'll get the cards, and I'll make my own game.
He'll dispose of them for you.
See what I'm saying?
Roll for the Galaxy.
After dark.
There is, let's see, Cometry Report said that someone saw Tom Lemon playing a roll and write for the Galaxy.
That's right. Roll and write for the Galaxy. Get it?
And I think there's another expansion coming for Roll for the Galaxy 2, but I might be wrong on that. Anyway, apparently this is coming from Rio Grande at some point, so just keep that in mind.
You like roller race.
Race is the best.
You think so?
Roll is the second best. And the third best is the
Trucker.
the Puerto Rico Roll for the Galaxy, which is called Distant Land, Skies. Skies under, thunder, down under, scores, up, down. Forbidden, race. If I keep saying words, I'll get it.
I was really waiting.
The new one, the latest one. Is that what you mean? Not the speed one, not the little one.
That one doesn't
There's
count.
4 games.
That one doesn't
Race for
count.
the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, After
New
Drive,
Frontiers.
or New Frontier.
Okay.
Those
I
are
was
the
going to get there eventually.
You were making your way there?
Maybe.
Making your way downtown.
No, but then, yeah, there's one that was originally a game called Cities, which was then remade into Jump Drive,
Jump Drive. Okay.
which is in the
Jump
Roll for the
Drive.
Galaxy universe, which
It
is
is. It's our
space.
universe.
But it doesn't really have anything to do with the other games. The other games, you can see the connections. It's just a different game. Ooh, I like Chad's idea. Erase for the Galaxy.
I like
Ooh.
it.
That would be a good name. Oh, Jay, you got to get on that. That would be a great name for the roll and write.
Erase for the Galaxy.
If you erase in the game.
That's true. That's got to be
Yeah,
done
like
race.
E, just E-race
All right, see, you'll be
for
happy
the
about
Galaxy. E-race for the Galaxy.
Ooh.
S or C? Are you doing
No, you
S?
still have to spell the word race like you would race.
Okay.
But when you read it, it says E-race for the Galaxy. That's brilliant. Me and Chad are killing it. I'm taking all your credit, Chad.
With
All
the
right,
cards
see,
from
you'll be
Apple.
excited about this. A new Legends of
Let's
Andor game.
go,
It's a big box.
The Distant Land. 7 epic legends on the trail of a lost civilization.
I love it.
I thought you would. Do you ever
The problem
wonder?
with this is they come from German to English. They usually take a while.
Yeah, well.
Do I ever think about this?
No, I was going to say, do you ever wonder why that boxes, they never seem to get the proportions right in
Yeah, I
these
was like, this is a
preview
much
pictures?
bigger box than the last Andor.
It's probably not.
That's what I said. I was like,
Also, the date here Z says 25, which means you may not see the English till 26.
No.
You're going to be 50 in 2026. That's
you
not
could
true.
learn German by the time.
That'd be crazy if that was true.
What?
I'll be 50 in 2026.
I could learn German
We're throwing a big
before.
bash
I
then.
just, yes, we are.
I'm just saying, I'm ready for this. I'm glad they're still making these.
All right, Snoop cereal.
Let's go.
Get in the game. Wait, isn't that someone else's?
Doggy dog.
Isn't that somebody else's phrase?
What, Snoop?
No, get in the game.
Yeah, EA Sports.
Isn't that what it is, or is
Yeah.
it just in
Or-
the game?
It's
EA
in the,
Sports.
it's in the game, right? It's in the game.
Get
It's in the game.
It's in the game or
Yeah.
get in the game.
Well, Snoop cereal is get in the game. So this is coming from Catalyst Game Labs, and this is a license. It says they've licensed Snoop Dogg and Master P's cereal brand.
What?
What actually is that?
Snoop cereal. Did you know Snoop cereal was even a thing?
No.
This makes
Yeah,
me
I'm
say,
assuming it's not kid friendly.
I'm looking it up.
No.
No, it's an actual thing. Look, snoopcereal.com.
It's covered in cartoons, so it must be for children.
It's definitely for kids. You can get
What kind of plants
no,
are
look,
shaped in there?
You can get Snoop cereal, Fruity Hoops with marshmallows. So you can get Fruit Loops with marshmallows. That's already better.
It is. I agree.
Then Frosted Drizzlers, Cinnamon Toasties.
Drizzlers.
This feels like a parody, doesn't it?
Yeah, is this real? No way.
Frost Drizzlers.
Snoop Dizzles.
They're available at Amazon. I'm going to go look. I'm going to buy them. $5. That's pretty much how much a box of cereal costs these days.
Oh,
This can't be real.
this is great.
Tom, not to buy them now.
You're buying
Tom.
them this moment right now.
No, Tom.
We will have them by the end of the show.
You are,
For my side.
you're addictive, asshole.
Check the ingredients first.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh
eat,
yeah, good point.
I don't eat cereal.
Available in Colorado.
My son will be fine. Anyhow, this is made by Broadest Foods and Anyway, there's a new game coming. So you will assume the roles of the members of the K9 team and try to control the basketball court. You need to connect tiles. And,
This is a game. They're making a game to push the cereal. Like back in the day, they would make a TV show to push a toy line. This is what this is.
no, but this game is going to Backer Kit. Are we in an alternate universe?
This is crazy. Is it April?
Is Martha Stewart making a line of cereals
Oh,
too?
that would be great. They bring her in.
All right. Star Trek Captain's Chair. This is coming from WizKids, who controls everything Star Trek board games, to the point where I can't keep track of which Star Trek game's which.
I know.
Do we run it? You look at the cover, and I'd be like,
Well, they
is
all
that
look
the
the same.
cooperative
That's the
one?
problem.
Right, they use that same. They
They
never
do.
do, like, cool new art. Anyhow, this is from David Terzi and Nigel Buckle. You're going to pick one of 7 captain's decks and try to outcommand them in a head-to-head game.
So a deck building game. So this is probably a little bit like
It
that
doesn't
one
say deck building game. I think you actually just
does.
take it where?
right there on the cover.
Yeah.
It does.
Might be a little bit like that one. What's that one that has historical people, like factions? That's from David Terzi.
It
What am I thinking of?
is.
Dominion.
No.
Oh, Dorcas.
You said it last time.
That's true.
Michael tells in the comments. We'll look at the comments.
It's like
and do that.
3. There's like 3 releases.
No, I
One
know what
has
game you're talking about.
one
I forgot
has,
what it's called.
Ancient actual civilizations. One has fictional civilizations.
Roy, show us the comments so we can see what
And
Mike
one
says. Mike will
has
tell us.
David Terzi's imaginary Imperium.
Imperium.
Oh,
Imperial
yeah.
Legends.
Imperial Legends, Imperial
Imperium.
Okay, I
Horizon,
have
and
seen those.
Imperium, whatever the other
Yeah,
one was
Roll and
called.
Ride Imperium.
But you guys didn't love those. You said they were.
Coconut
No,
Imperium.
he didn't play them.
Imperium.
I thought it was fine, but it's at a level of complexity that I don't want to play almost ever. Thank you.
Okay,
All
I
right.
want to play this though. I mean, I like Star Trek. They're hit or miss with their Star Trek stuff, but
I really
Missions.
agree with Tom, though. They got to make these things look different. My goodness. Like, nobody ever confuses Marvel United with anything because they look incredibly
you see the
different.
Star Trek missions cover? That's
Star
totally
Trek all
different.
looks the same. You know what I mean? Like, I really all is like, there's Picard. Again, it's interchangeable.
All right, well, let's jump to a different universe. Star Wars, the deck building game,
we go.
Clone Wars
Step
edition.
down.
This is a standalone version of this deck building game, but I'm assuming do they mix? No, yeah,
They
you can.
mix, yes. You have to pick, like, basically parts of it, and you can mix them, yes.
Is it a you take one because this one is clones? This is Galactic Republic against Separatist Confederacy. I would assume you just take half
said
and
that
play
there's
against
like
half.
if you go through the deck, apparently some cards have a denomination, they fall into a category. You can take that
Presbyterian.
part and put it in the other one.
Um,
My point, my excitement level here is very high, mostly because my man is right there on the cover.
General Grievous.
Grievous is my favorite Star Wars character ever. Okay,
I agree.
he's got extra arms. I love that. A serious cough. Okay. He's not really, doesn't care about his personal health that much. Or hygiene, let's be fair. And he can walk in space.
But you like cartoon Grievous over like movie Grievous.
No, I like Grievous in the movies.
Okay, moving on.
This I'm excited about. I love this game. This is a perfect expansion type thing. So,
Okay. And finally, King of Tokyo Duel.
This is a real thing?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a real thing. So King of Tokyo Duel coming from Richard Garfield. This is debuting at Essen Spiel this year.
Yes.
So it's just 1 versus 1. There are many changes in the game. I do not know if they've shown them yet, but I've seen how the game plays. It seems like an interesting way to try out King of Tokyo, 2-player. And it has new art, some new monsters, some returning monsters. The
That's some
monsters
good
will be
artwork.
revealed over the next. That's actually a very good cover.
Yeah, that's it.
That
Good
UE
cover.
making the lightning bolt, great graphic design.
Oh, yeah, this. I need you to grab me this and Cat Horror Festival 2 from Essen. So
Not
those two.
happening on one of those.
Fine.
You'll get your cat horror.
The
Get you
sequel
another
gets
copy. Give it another go.
Anyway, folks, that is, I think, yep, that's the news. All right, folks, today we're talking for our top 3 about top 3 initial episodes of series. Because
Pilots.
well, not always a pilot.
Well, you said pilots, so we're going to go with pilots.
You're like Captain Phillips or something?
Well, I mean, technically, pilot is a show they send and then the studios will
Okay,
approve it or
that's
not.
true. Because there are some pilots that were never aired. They're like, we like the idea.
Well, what I'm saying, a lot of first episodes aren't called pilots because they were just ordered the whole season.
Which is why I
yeah.
left a lot of... Like, my list would be really different if it was just best first episodes, you know what I mean? But for example,
Because-
a lot of the HBO shows, those aren't really pilots. Like, they don't watch the first one.
Did you
and
keep
then
them out,
approve-
though?
What?
Wait, you were real?
You were really literal, because I was like, so you didn't
I'm
put some
serious.
first? Really?
Yeah, if it's an HBO show, like a mini-series,
Oh, no, okay.
Well, miniseries, I'm not talking about those either.
that's
I
like
will say-
they like know they're making 10 or
Yeah,
whatever.
there was
The
one
first one's not the
miniseries that I
pilot.
would have put in first episode, probably in my top couple. You know, and that's Ascension. I would have put it. Was like miniseries, though, I did not put it.
We'll do top
Yeah.
3 miniseries at some
Yeah, 'cause
point.
that's different. Miniseries, yeah. That's
But you
different.
would do like HBO shows that were ordered the whole season. You did those.
I don't have any of those. I have like
Okay.
pretty like... And it's not HBO, it's TV.
This would be.
Oh, man.
This would be.
Okay.
This does not mean the show was good overall
Agreed.
and or had a great ending.
Agreed.
It's just how good, and because there's so many shows. One that always comes to mind is Parks and Recreation, where I'm like, hey, you'll love Parks and Recreation. You can skip the whole first season. There's a lot of shows like
You can
that.
usually tell a pilot is a pilot also because it's a slightly different feel from the rest of the show. Especially
Sometimes it
after
comes
you-
out of episode
Especially
3.
after you
Yeah.
know the show, you go back and rewatch the pilot and you're like, ooh, they were exploring here. Like they were trying to find a tone.
It's some do it the entire first season.
Yeah,
you
some
know?
characters are really different.
Yeah.
They come in, they're really goofy, or they're not very goofy at all, and then later on in the show, they're
like-
only goofy.
Yeah, they kind of push
Right.
it this way or that way. Absolutely.
Like
all of
Cycli-
these, my picks, if you go back and watch just the first episode, it feels different from like what the show became.
Because Psycho's one of my top shows, but they replaced a main character after the first episode. Swapped it out. I think like New Girl did the same thing or something. But yeah, just swapped
All right,
out
well, what's your number
characters.
3?
My number 3 is probably the one that I thought, this first episode, I think it trailed off. I may have gotten canceled, but my number 3 was Pushing Daisies.
Oh,
I remember watching this, and this was one that really made me sad that it wasn't continued longer. Have you ever seen this, Z?
No, I don't know what this
The
is.
whole idea was this kid found he has this ability to, if he would touch a dead body, pretty much, they would come back to life for like a minute. That's it. And then immediately like alive, and then he has to touch them again, they go.
But if he doesn't touch him within a minute, somebody else in the vicinity dies.
Yes. So he would go to this morgue and start solving these murders, and it's more of like a comedy type thing. So he'd wake him up, and they'd be like, "Hey, what happens?" Like, "Look, I'm so sorry you're dead. We don't have long. I need to know some stuff."
And it was like,
"What do you mean I'm dead?" And it's like, "No, dude, you only don't have very long." And it's really, it's
So
good.
it's kind of weird because it's a comedy, but it's a light touch comedy. It's
yes.
The show likes all the characters. They're all very likable, but they're also very eccentric. It's a little. It's not quite Wes Anderson, but it leans in that direction.
Okay.
It's got Kristen Chenoweth. I remember it first.
That's the first time I saw her.
Same here.
And in the very first episode, she sings a musical number for no
Yes.
reason. And I was like, why? And later on, I was like, oh,
She could yeah.
that's because that's what she does.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
She was in Wicked, but she was also, what was she famous
She's the
for?
Good Witch in
RV.
Wicked,
Oh, okay.
She was in RV, and I don't know what she was famous for. I don't know, but
Frozen.
right, yeah. So
Not Frozen. She wasn't in Frozen. Never mind. I'm getting things mixed.
Melted. You think of melted?
so anyway, yeah. Pushing Daisies. I think the first episode really set the tone.
Never heard of that one. No, it
was
reminds
good.
me of a different show with the iZombie show.
Yeah, that was
That's
another
one
good
that's
one.
less gross than that.
It is.
Yeah,
a more slapstick, almost like.
It's funny because it's like a nice tone, and sometimes there's just moments of humor. Like I remember one scene that I always remember where he touched the dead body, and it came to life, and he works with this gruff, private-eye detective, and he doesn't touch it in a minute. So you know someone nearby is going to die, and that detective is just booking it out as fast as he could. So he's not the one to get killed. Fortunately, it's some old guy about to die anyway or something.
Convenient.
It
That
was
one guy
convenient.
didn't have a head. And he's just. It was great. Oh yeah, that was good.
Huh. Who's next?
You.
All right, my number 3 is in my phone. My number 3 is House. House MD, okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what happened in the first episode of House.
The first
He did
episode.
drugs.
Huh?
He did drugs in the first episode.
Yeah, the first
okay.
episode, again, they're establishing. I don't like it when a first episode does a good job establishing what to expect, I think, and like in relationships between people, power dynamics between people, a general feeling of who they are, how they operate, but also give you that nice push towards the future. And I think House is one of the few shows that nails the episodic nature of what you want. Something starts, they figure it out, it ends. And that, balancing that with the through, the story from episode to episode to episode to episode, that through line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so right at the beginning of the show, you get the whole, this guy's a jerk. He gets along with nobody.
But he's a lovable
He takes
jerk.
a bunch of pills. He's a genius, though. People put up with him because he's a genius. And then also the girl goes crazy in the classroom. She's a teacher, goes mute, can't talk. They don't know what's going on. She wants to die. She doesn't know. They can't figure it out. And, of course,
Lupus.
they solve it. It's lupus.
Sarcoidosis.
But
They need steroids.
for me, this is one. It's not the pilot. It was like episode 7 where he's telling a story about 3 different patients, and halfway through you realize one of them is him.
Yes, right.
I thought that was a really powerful
were so
episode.
well
Yeah,
written.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although I just don't like House.
It's not one of the first times I realized that Americans have an accent. See him in an interview, like full British accent, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, I have a good American accent." I'm like, "Ah,
Yes, I know, Mike. It's never lupus, but that was always like under the thing.
was.
I never heard of lupus until I watched this show.
lupus, sarcoidosis," and it was like, "Oh, yeah." It was
There's always something. Yeah.
All right,
But no, I love
great.
the
Sorry.
characters in this. Yeah, that's
so good. And
what
this is
it
when you can watch one-offs. When it comes on, you're like, "I'll watch this episode."
Yes, I
Although there was
agree.
a thread, each episode is very self-contained.
Yeah.
Well, my number 3 is not a self-contained show, and the episode came out with such a bang, and it just left me breathless all the way to the end of the first season, and after that, it went off the rails, and that is Prison Break.
This
Prison Break.
Heard a lot of good things.
Yeah.
I've never seen Prison
This
Break.
first episode where you
So
see him,
good.
he gets thrown into prison.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they spoiled it in the trailers and everything anyway, but he's in there to rescue his brother. So he gets thrown into prison on purpose and everything, and at the very end, he takes his shirt off, and he has a map of the prison on it tattooed on his back.
So good.
And you're like, oh, this is... And then you meet all the characters in that first season were so well defined.
Okay, wait. He gets thrown into prison
On purpose.
on purpose, and at the end of the episode, you find out he has a tattoo of the prison on his back.
A map,
Yeah,
so
map.
so they can escape. That's one of
And
the
like at
things he
no
did.
point,
Okay. Don't
During
think
the-
too far into it.
No, because the tattoo looks like something else. He's like, look closer, and then you can see the map in there.
okay. I thought it said like escape here. And like,
No. But what's really
I'm like,
cool
they
is
will
that
look at him.
some of the things he does in episode 1 and even other episodes come back to play, but the characters in it, there's the one bad guy they introduce in Prison Break. I still can't see him in any other show and
Teabag
think,
or whatever?
Teabag.
Yeah.
I can't see him in any other
I
thing, and I'm
agree.
like, that guy is, ooh.
You
They
hate
even did an
him.
episode where they like showed his background, and I was like, they were trying to make him a little bit more sympathetic, and I was like, nah, he was so bad.
He's up there with Joffrey as far as like characters that like you just hate.
Spies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, first season great, second season,
I think a
yeah.
good top 3 too. Top 3 characters you love to hate.
Oh, well, we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, my number 3,
Yeah.
Prison Break.
All right, so my number 2 is probably one that comes to people's minds a lot when they say just a killer first episode, monstrous letdown. And this is, of course, Lost. Lost, when that first episode, when they crashed that plane, and everything happened, just so much
Spoiler
chaos. You know what? I'm not going to spoil all
Also,
this.
they're lost.
But then at the end of the first, they finally find that radio tower, and they find these other transmissions, these fringe transmissions been going on for like 40 years. And they're like, what island are we on? All this, you're like, wow, there's so many mysteries that are going to be answered. You don't find out till later they're never answered. But it's like...
No, I found out how Jack got his tattoos.
How? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then Smoke
This would
Monster.
be a good one. I've never seen it. I've never seen Lost.
I want to recommend it, but I don't.
No. I don't have any interest in this, but I think this would be an amazing series to turn into a mini-series.
Yes, if this was a mini-series,
if they took this and they did like an
incredible.
8-episode HBO special
I
where
agree.
they know where they're going. You write the beginning, you write the
Yeah.
middle, you write the end of the whole thing. That could be great because it sounds like such a fun, interesting, engaging, suspenseful premise. But this whole write it on the fly and we got to keep people dangling because we don't know how long we've got. Oof.
And it wasn't the
No.
first episode. They had moments in there that just like, whoa. And their cliffhangers were great to keep you for next season. It's
Sure,
like,
sure.
oh, yeah. So anyway, Lost.
All right, so my number 2 is one I've not seen that much of. It's one that I started watching fairly recently, and I really liked the first episode because, again, it does that thing where it introduces you to all the players, the dynamics, the kinds of things you can expect, and that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of those shows I just never caught. You know, it's kind of like a little bit of...
It definitely gets better.
It's a little bit of the Parks and Rec vibe, a little bit of the Office vibe, right? Not breaking the fourth wall or anything like that. And then, of course, a little bit of the cop procedural type show. But that first episode, when you see the office dynamics, how that works, bringing in the new captain, and that dynamic with the main guy and the captain, they immediately give you a feeling for all of these people around the office. Oh, they're the goofy one. She's like the man-eater, hard, she's like the tough one, no-nonsense woman. She's a little bit sort of like scared about where she fits in. This other lady's there just collecting a paycheck. Like, I like that they kind of very quickly set up the players in the office. It's very well done. And it's funny, of course. I like that mixture of some episodes are going to be sillier, and some of them, they lean into like solving the case thing. The whole thing's good. And again, like I said, I haven't watched that much of it, but so far I'm really enjoying it.
The characters are great in this. Even Terry Crews.
He's funny, man.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, but I like Hitchcock and Scully get better. as the
Hitchcock and
series go
Scully
by.
are so good. They really build on that whole like little bromance friendship thing. Yeah, it's really good.
Which one's Scully?
Just the two older guys that are always just very
Oh, the
disgusting.
two older guys.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're so good.
All right, my number 2 is kind of a weird one because it comes after a mini-series, but then starts off the series in such edge-of-your-seat excitement, and that is the newer version of Battlestar Galactica. The episode called 33, which is crazy tense because they have to jump their ships every 33 minutes. The Cylons show up and fight, and so they have to jump them out.
Wait, you're talking about episode 1 of the new reboot, right?
Yeah. So the Cylons
it's a
are
weird
chasing
one
them.
because they did a TV movie kind of was the pilot.
But see, this is my first entrance in the entire Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, me too.
so
And I will say this is one of my favorite episodes of any show.
I agree.
It's so good, and you're
Yeah.
like, and then the decision they have to make at the end, where they're like, they have a tracker on that civilian ship, and they have to blow it up, or they're all gonna die. And there's one of the
Good.
Battlestar Galactica, I also don't think ended particularly well. There were some things, but one thing they did that was so effective was every show they showed you the population,
Yes.
and they would show it going down. And I remember at one point there was a baby and it went up by one, and you were like, yes! But this was such a tense, crazy, every 33 minutes. These people were stressed out. I think they were doing it like 5 days straight or something.
Yeah, something like that,
And they kept,
go
the
back and
pilots,
watch
you got to
this.
go out again. You got to go out again. And it was...
I remember really, really liking that episode. The show lost me eventually. It got weird. I'd never even finished it. But for a while there, I was definitely binge watching Battlestar Galactica. And that first episode is still one of the best episodes of anything.
Yeah, it's really good. So that's my number
Go back
2.
and watch that. Okay, so my
Number one, Joe.
This is it, number 1. We're back and
Crossover
forth.
time.
This is, I doubt this is on your
This
guys'
is
list.
also my number 1.
This one, my number 1 is like the great moment you have in this. The moment where, really it's Blacklist, when Raymond Reddington walks into the FBI, and it sets
this
a
is
tone.
Good. Dang it,
For-
Joey.
it sets
This
a
could have been
tone.
my one.
For the entire series, when he walks up, he just says, Raymond Reddington here to see the director. Do you have an appointment? No. Just let him know I'm here. Then he slowly goes back, gets on his knees,
Takes off his
everything,
thing.
and he kneels down right there, and you're like, what is happening? And then the moment when every FBI agent just
In the
comes
world
out,
shows up.
shows up, guns drawn, all this. You're on the edge of your seat. You're like,
Who is this
Yes.
guy?
You have questions like, who is this guy? Why did he turn himself in? Why all this? And you're like, this is incredible. So, yeah, this
Ooh.
I love. Now, again, later in the series, I never finished this because it does kind of have some big ups and downs. But this is a great opening, just grab you and keep you there. So, yeah, this was very exciting for me. So, you guys can ruin it because I'm probably not going to finish it ever. But it's the first episode, great.
Yeah, this is one I watch in spurts. If I
I
get
do
into
too.
it, I'll watch a few episodes. I'm somewhere in season 2 or 3. I don't know. But
Are
it's
you?
like, yeah,
It's
it's
so
good.
good.
Like,
It's
there's
good.
a lot of interesting stuff, and I love him. You know what I mean?
He has played such iconic characters, I thought, well, he'll always be this. And now he's Raymond Reddington.
Yeah, it's really different between his
Yeah.
Boston legal
Right. That's the
character
thing.
and this. They really.
Yeah. He does
Yeah.
really good.
All right, my number one is the first episode of one of my favorite TV shows, and that is the IT Crowd.
Yes. That's
The
a good
IT
one.
Crowd, again, it changed from the first one to the later ones, but it immediately sets the stage for these two guys with no supervision pretty much in their IT department doing whatever they want to, not really taking the calls. And then they bring her in the first episode, and she's supposed to be their boss, but has no idea about IT at all. But because the boss is like, if my teams can't work together, they're out of here. They choose to work together, even though she has no clue how to be there, and the guys need to, kind of like somebody to watch over them. So it sets up this really interesting dynamic, the weird sort of like, the Odd Couple kind of vibe to the whole thing. It's very funny. It's very British. It's very irreverent. It gets even more irreverent later on in the seasons, in the show. But yeah, that first one where you slowly sort of get introduced to everybody. It's also much more languid in pacing, actually, the first episode, where like the phone rings.
Pacing's so good.
The phone rings. It's like the very first joke is actually this dragged out Family Guy joke where the
Yes.
phone rings and he's like, licking his fingers because he just ate something. Oh, he goes and like reaches over the phone and grabs something to drink instead. And the phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. So they really drag it out. But the characters are hilarious, very well done, very well introduced, and the whole show is, like I said, one of my favorites.
It's one of the only shows I laugh out loud. Have you seen any of them?
Yeah.
Well,
They made fun of us in one of the shows. They were their board game show.
yes, yeah. It's when the vibration of the phone, where they crank it up. I don't know. I really liked. Very British.
My favorite one is one where he can't say, try turning it on and off again.
Yes.
With the bomb.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this was really well done.
All right, my number one is a crossover with Joey, and that is Lost. And man, I don't think, like, if you're a kid today, you don't realize how game-changing this first episode
really
was.
was.
It felt like a movie at the time. It was on network TV, too. It was 2 hours, and, like, the plane has crashed, and it's like chaos, and you see the main character, Jackie's running around, introduces you to all these different people, and then suddenly a guy gets pulled into the engine of the thing, and it explodes.
So much.
And then, so the first thing is like, it's very action-packed, and they're like, oh, and you're like, what happened? And then the second half, it just suddenly gets weird. And they see a polar bear on this jungle
Yes, I remember
island,
the polar bear thing. Yeah.
which, by the way, doesn't pay out at all. But,
Never, ever.
well, no, they explain it. They try to explain it. It's like, I would rather just have been like, ooh, a polar bear, why is it there? But I remember Hurley, and they're like, focuses in on him, and he's like, guys, where are we? And you're like, yeah, where are they? There's a monster there. The pilot gets killed by the pilot gets killed in the pilot. The pilot gets killed by this monster. You're like, what is this monster? There's a monster on the island. You had all these cool characters. And if you go back and watch the pilot after watching some of the other episodes, you can see the setups for some of the things.
So they had somewhat of a plan, but I don't think they expected to extend it that long.
Yeah, the main thing about the show that was pretty impressive was now they do it to death, flashbacks. And they did flashbacks before Lost. It wasn't like Lost and Bennett flashbacks, but Lost used them to a great extent. And what was cool is you would see, wait a minute, are these characters connected outside of this? You know, it was such a neat thing.
It really was.
And it was fantastic. It was. And the first season kept going at this breakneck pace. And then, I mean, it's ups and downs. And then in one season, it went up tremendously. And then the last season, they were like, nah. And even the last season isn't terrible. It's just that they didn't answer many, many, many questions. There's a YouTube video that shows all the things they didn't answer. And I watched that video and I got mad because I forgot. Ooh. Because the ending was a very heartwarming, nice ending type thing. And you're like, oh, okay. Until you're like, wait a minute, they didn't answer anything. And because of this reason, I would go back and watch the pilot because it's a great pilot. But I can't go rewatch it again because I would just get mad. They'd be like, ooh, why am I playing chess against you in this abandoned cabin? Oh, and I never will.
Right.
So it's harder to care about something.
Okay. Yeah, again, I really wish that they would remake it as a miniseries.
It would be great.
You know, twist it around. Obviously, don't use the same tropes.
Maybe
but
answer questions.
That'd be really cool. I would watch that.
I think we could have did a top 10 on this list. Obviously, Game of Thrones.
Chuck.
Breaking Bad. Chuck's a great episode.
Again, I think if you...
X-Files for me.
If I could do
Shield.
miniseries also, there's some really good ones. Like the first episode in the Watchmen miniseries, I think is amazing.
Miniseries would be good.
thought about that, but again, I didn't pick it because it's a miniseries.
Right, like the first episode is not really the pilot. It's just the first episode of 8 episodes or whatever.
Did you guys think of like Walking Dead? Because that first episode is really good.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead was such a great first episode.
It was great.
When he's walking around and
Dead.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not dead. Walking Dead. I thought maybe he was dead.
And the Mandalorian.
I've never seen the show, so I don't know.
Mandalorian was a tough one because
had
to
a
me,
great
Mandalorian's
ending.
a 1-2 punch. I include the second episode as part of that. The first episode was great, and the second episode...
You see
Yeah,
Grogu in the first one, right?
Yeah, but you see Grogu use the Force in the second one.
Got it. Okay.
I guess you do, but even the first one on its own, that's where it ends.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
see
what is that? Like, that's a great first episode.
And Heroes, again, you could have a top 10. I mean, Heroes.
Yeah, The Good Place is a good one. I thought about putting Good Place. I thought about putting Arrested Development. That is a very good
That's
first
a great
episode.
one.
Yeah.
Suits. I love the first Suits.
First bad first ones, actually. There's quite a few that, obviously, other ones we don't see. But I actually think Parks and Rec, which is one of my top 3 TV shows ever, has a really bad pilot.
My wife still will not watch that show. I'm like, it's really good. She saw the pilot and she hated it.
Pilot sucked.
I had to muscle through, and then
like
eventually
most of that
gets
first
good.
season takes some good climbing upwards. It gets really good, but that pilot is bad because they went fully The Office, set in the Parks and Recreation department. And later on, they deviate from that, but that first episode is dry.
Yeah.
It's not very good. And she's really boring still.
Yeah.
Like she played that character super straight, and she kind of loosens up. Yeah, that's a bad first episode. But mostly, obviously, yes, they're good.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Tell us yours in the comments. We got a little bit left. We'll keep going.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for another Smorgasbord right here on the Dice Tower. Today on Gateway Corner, we're going to take a look at Wandering Towers because this is a great little game that I think will appeal to a number of different people because of its simplicity and because of its aesthetic value. So let's get down to the table and we'll take a look real quick. So Wandering Towers goes all the way up to 6 different players, and that's one of the cool things about it and what makes it a pretty cool gateway experience because you can teach a number of different people the same game at the same time and you can all learn the game together. And that's one of the things that I found really works well in games that do well in gateway situations, is that they have a higher player count, but not so many player counts. But anyway, in this game, all you're really trying to do is you're trying to get your meeple, your little wizard meeples, into Raven's Keep and basically have all of your meeples into Raven's Keep and have all of your potions turned over to the full side. At the same time, once you have those two conditions met, have all of your potions turned over and all of your meeples into the Raven's Keep, you have won the game. The way you do that is by playing these different movement cards. This one will move your wizard 5 spaces. This one you can choose. You can either move a tower 3 spaces or a wizard 3 spaces. This one you can move a tower 2 or a wizard 4. This one allows you to just move towers 3. So everybody has 3 cards in their hands at the beginning of their turn. They can use 2 of them, and then they refill up to 3 at the end of their turn. The other thing that you can do on your turn is you can use potions that will allow you to sometimes break rules of the game, because sometimes they allow you to move things counterclockwise when you have to. Most of the time you have to move in a clockwise formation. Sometimes they allow you to move towers and find, like if I had my dude here like this and I played this potion right here, I'd be able to say, hey, he's going to come up here and be on top of that tower now. So it's a lot of different things that you can do with the spells, but you're going to be using your full spell potions to use these different things, and it just gives you a little bit more strategic possibilities with the game, and that's a cool thing as well. But it's got a really fun family-friendly theme, and I think that's one of the really cool things that goes along with it. It's a huge aesthetic appearance. I love the way this game looks with all of the cardboard towers that are used and all of the little wizard meeples. The cards are great as far as quality is concerned, and the component value is really high. This is checking off a lot of different boxes for it having to be a good gateway game in my experience. Now, if all that weren't enough to make this a great candidate for being a good gateway game, there is also no less than 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different modes that you can use in this game. Now, granted, in a gateway situation, really only 4 of those is going to be useful for you, because one of those is a solo mode. So you do have that, but you also have a cooperative mode. You also have a nasty variant, where if you have a whole bunch of really competitive people, that would really do well with a nasty competitive thing. And then if you have a lot of people that like to work together, you also have a team variant, and you have a cooperative mode variant as well. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care now.
Back talk! Okay, we're not doing back talk.
Let's back talk about this,
Baby.
Okay, so I saw this at Board Game Geek Spring, so I got a copy for us. And this is called Dribble. Where's the box? It's over there
It's right
somewhere.
here. Hello. Dribble.
Drizzle.
Okay. It says, a game of dexterity and patience with 3 skill levels. Can you master the dribble?
All right, so Joey, grab both of these.
All right, got it.
Now plug in it. No. All right, so we're going to put the ball here. Okay.
Oh, I have to go first?
So this is like Moonshot. You're trying to get the ball as
Moonshine.
far as you can. No, Moonshot, you know the one with the ball and you...
This is my first time ever touching this.
Well, you already didn't get 0.
Keep going.
Okay, I'll go back up. Hold on. Ah!
That's 50 points.
That's the most points you can get. It is
Okay,
not.
here we go.
$100 points.
I hate this game.
Yeah. Well, you thought you
played
hated
before?
it.
Just say yes. Okay.
Now we're going to try it with the silver ball.
Yeah, now
This
it's
is level
cool.
2.
All right, hold on.
Level 3 is using 2.
Oh, is that what it is, really?
No one has ever got to level 3.
Okay, got it. Go, Joey. Yeah! Joey sucks!
These stress me out. It's all like, I'm just going to win right now. Just get this out of the way.
$100.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah!
All right, give me a smaller one.
What happened?
Give me a... Give me...
I've never seen that before. I've never seen anyone do the small one.
Okay.
That's 25.
You have like a little marble. I want to do it again.
That'd be good.
If you're not sick after this camera work, I haven't done my job.
Give me the ball bearing.
There we go. There we go.
Wait, here we go. All right, this is it. This is the moment.
All right, Z, level 3.
Okay, what's level 3, man? This
2.
Oh, jeez, come on. This is not okay.
Why did I get 2?
Come on, Tom.
Yeah, cover it up so we can't see it. Did you grow up with this?
Yeah, this is a very Cuban thing here.
Every Cuban household
Every
has
Cuban
a
has a
dribble.
dribble. Go outside and play a dribble.
Wow, you're crazy good.
I can't do 2. That's insanity.
I thought I can't do it. I can do this one and get it to 100.
This is very, like, again, I think the idea here, Tom, which is what I'm guessing you're doing with this, is taking this to our events, like Dice Tower East, that kind of thing, and it is perfect for that.
Yes, it
To
is.
set it up on a table as people are walking by
On the plane.
on the plane. What?
I don't know how to play it anywhere. I got
As people
practice.
are walking by, you are going to be. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I'm surprised it's not working.
People can mess around with it as you're walking by. It takes you, 2-3 minutes, and then you go on. It's a fun distraction.
It is.
You were bad at this.
I am. The moonshot, but it's very similar to moonshot. Moonshot is where you have the one marble and then you pull the things apart to make it roll down, but you don't want it to fall. It has
There you
that
go.
same kind of idea.
Here you go. Let me help you out.
Okay, we'll win it. Hold on. This is the moment. Get your phones ready.
Oh, come on. Do it. Don't mess up. Okay, you're still in. Oh, you're still in. Ignore the failures.
That's what my parents say all the time.
No, I said that to them.
Oh, come on.
You
I
got
get
it.
75.
There you go. Yeah, really fun to mess with for a couple of minutes. And then you go on with your day. I love it for that. Like a fun distraction. It makes me think of like Cracker Barrel or something.
Yeah.
You kind of mess with it for a minute and.
I'm an ignoramus. Is
Now, I will say, though, it's a pain to store. There's a big hole in the box here.
that where the mouse got in?
No, because when I bought it, it was wrapped in shrink inside
Yeah.
or plastic. But without plastic, you put it in. If the handles turn at all, they're going to dig into the box.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because, see, they come up.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty funny.
There's one of these under your desk. You'll find out when you sit down. All right, folks, that's it for Board Game Smorgasbord. You will never see me and Z again, but today.
Oh.
I was like, wait, there's a big announcement coming.
Wow.
Joey and Camilla and Chris
Yeah.
will be doing their 20 through 11.
Maybe 10.
Why do you keep saying that?
I don't know. Just 11.
11's really bad, isn't it? 11's boring.
Shouldn't have ended with 11.
Anyway, they'll be back at later on this afternoon. Until then, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Joy Evans.
Have fun playing games.
Dribbling.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Basil.